Hello and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Thursday, May 20th edition of our video devotionals, and we appreciate you being with us today, and hopefully your Thursday is going well, and we're almost at the end of the week, but not quite. Well, we've been in a theme this week. Our theme has been using the word enlarge or some variation of that. Today we're going to be in Isaiah chapter 54, look at verse number 2, give you a chance to find that. And while you're looking for that, let me just say again, thank you for all who watch our videos. Again, appreciate all the feedback, any comments, any remarks. We appreciate it very much. And basically, we're just here to be a blessing. And we're at the 1 year plus mark. Of course, April 1st last year we began these devotions, and here we are into the I guess it's the 13th month. And so we'll just continue them as the Lord will allow us to do so. All right, well, let's jump right into things here. Isaiah 54:2 says this: Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. So when you look at, of course, we're going to make it more practical for us today. We're not living in tents. The Lord's not trying to get us to expand our dwelling place. But I think He is trying to say through this particular truth here that our influence, it can be expanded. If we can make the place of our influence expand, and if you need to expand your influence, then think about, as it talks about, the lengthening of the cords and the strengthening of the stakes. Now you understand this. Let me give you a real simple illustration here. Down here along the coast, a lot of people put out these little 8 by 10 little tents. They're really not a tent. They're more like a little shelter, basically to keep the sun off you if you're along the coast somewhere and you're kind of up on the beach, as we call it. You're there along the sand. You sit out in that sun long, it's going to cook you. And a lot of people just don't want to do that. So they have these little 8 by 10 things. So you set them up. Of course, you kind of pop them up, and then you take these little thin cords and little small stakes, and you kind of keep it stable so the wind doesn't blow it away. That doesn't require a whole lot of strengthening, a whole lot of support. But let's say you're going to put up something like a 16 by 20. Then all of a sudden you've got something that's going to require a lot of strengthening and look more like a rope than it would a little cord. And if you're going to put down stakes, it's something you're not just going to push your foot into the sand or kind of tap it with your foot. It's going to be something you might need a little 8-pound sledgehammer or something to drive that thing down in the sand and make sure the thing doesn't blow away, and it'll just support itself. So think about this in the spiritual sense. If God's going to use you, you need to strengthen and lengthen. That means your walk with God, get deeper with the walk of God, lengthen the cord, so to speak, and to make your influence of greater extent. Just like if you're going to put up a small tent versus a large tent, you understand it's just like a foundation of a house. The larger the dwelling, the more concrete and more strengthening of the foundation it has to be. So you understand that. So when you look at this, of course, in Isaiah's day, talking about enlarge the place of your tent, expand yourself, a church's influence, your own personal influence, a ministry's influence, a preacher's influence, not so that the attention can be upon himself, but so the attention can be upon the Lord. But if you're going to have an expansion of your influence, then you're going to have to deepen your walk with God, deepen the things in your life so that they can support such an expansion of your influence. And I hope you understand what I'm saying here. So it's a truth that means that if you're going to do something big for God, then you're going to have to deepen yourself into the Word of God, deepen yourself in your prayer, and the influence will take care of itself. So think about it in those terms, and we're a little bit short today, but I think the truth is what it is. Let's just expand ourselves, and even during these days that we live, when people are kind of not sure if they're going to get back to their normal force. How about we think about let's expand even more. Let's use the days in which people are afraid and people are wondering where to turn, and so much hopelessness abounds about us. And yet here we're this light that shines for Christ, and the light has not dimmed. The light is just as bright as it's always been, and yet the world around us, does seem to be darker. So much the more. So let's just be what we can, strengthen, lengthen, so we can expand that spiritual tent, so to speak, that influence. And let's do that for the Lord during these days. So I hope you have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday, and have a great day.